That's this video that, I saw on TikTok, and it addressed an issue that I've actually just, as a man, have observed with, a lot of the sisters, which they would say the older sisters and the younger ones. But from my years of just observation, I want you just to hear what this young sister says. And I have a pretty good hypothesis on, what a lot of the issues are. But let's roll that clip.
Okay, so we all know about Karens, but let's talk about older black women that always got their nose turned up at young black girls. And I'm not even only gonna say always got their nose turned up. They always going out their way to be in our business. They always making shit hard for us. They always have to let it be known that they don't like us for whatever reason. We don't ever know or ever give a f. And I know that this be happening to y'all because it happens to me every other day. So I'm gonna give y'all a few examples. When I was, for the first I can remember is when I was younger, I went to the beach with my friends, and somebody auntie took us to the beach. And as we talking, when we get there, she tells me, oh, because I didn't even want you to ride with me. And I'm just like, why? Like, I didn't do nothing to her. I never disrespected her. I don't know her. But if a 15-year-old girl, I'm 25. So if a 15-year-old girl get in my car, and I'm not even finna be worried about her. I don't have no mind for no little kids. And I'm not ever talking about our beautiful black women that's like grannies and like, they stay in their lane, they real helpful. I'm not talking about those type of women. I'm talking about the bitches who husbands or baby daddies with young girls, or the bitches who bitter because they never did nothing with their life and they got dead-end jobs and like that. That's who I'm speaking about. The other day, I'm at court. I see my sister walking down the stairs, so I pull up right in front of the stairs to get her. A lady stopped, like, go. So I'm like, oh, no, you can go because I'm just waiting. She started yelling, standing in front of my car, screaming and hollering, yelling, oh, you need to go because this car is behind you. What do that got to do with you? I'm driving on the freeway. I'm looking at my phone trying to figure out why is traffic stopping. I'm looking down. A lady pull up on the side of me and yelling at me, talking about I need to stop texting. This is the type of that if a white woman did, everybody would be outraged. And it's so much more things that I can say because this stuff happened to me every other day, and I'm not even over exaggerating. I'll text my brother a group chat for football, and it's like the women in there is just being funny because I don't read the group chat. I'm not doing that. Y'all, it's 30 of y'all texting and interacting with each other. I'm not doing that. I'm just here to drop him off so he can play. So when I text and ask, every time somebody respond, they being funny. And this is the type of stuff that's just ridiculousness to me because what is y'all problem? And I swear to God, it sounds so fucked up and so vulgar, but I tell my sister every other day, I really do hate old black. And I do not mean our aunties and our grannies and the sweet old ladies. Please do not get me wrong. I mean the that's, like I said, bitter and mad because they boyfriends or whatever mess with young girls. And that's what I mean by old black, because I'm 25. You in your 30s and you sitting here being spiteful towards me for what?
So basically, the young sister is explaining how older, black women don't like younger black women. Now, of course, she didn't say all. She didn't say that. She reiterated that maybe about twice, so she wasn't talking about all. But she's talking about the ones that can't stand her as a younger black woman. The main issue from what I see, while a lot of the older ones don't like the younger ones, is a lot of it unfortunately, is some of them still trying to compete with younger women for men. And, especially when you have the, people online talking about get you a younger woman, get you a young woman. That's always like the mantra now. Get you a young woman, a woman that's that girl's age, right? So they're saying guys my age, to go and get a 25-year-old. Now, I wouldn't want a 25-year-old at my age because that girl still got a lot of growing up to do. And I don't understand why a man that's 40 plus, 50, whatever, 60, want a 25-year-old. That girl old enough to be your daughter. Understand what I'm saying? But to each his own. People do what they want to do. Like I said before, I don't like, no ignorance, woman. And that's I love about my wife. She's very, very smart. She's educated, and that just works very, very well for me and our marriage. But she talked about, something that a lot of them are bitter, etc. And what a lot of that is also is some of them have hit the wall. The wall is inevitable. It is. And they have realized that. And because you are younger, you are what they used to be, some of them, not all, but some of them. Instead of playing their position and say, listen, I am now going into the auntie phase, they don't want to be the auntie. They want to still think they're the little young girl that everybody, the guys is trying to, want. Understand something. Everybody going to get older. You look at the women today that everybody used to talk about years ago. Like, let's call it what it is. Everybody used to talk about Kim Kardashian this, Kim Kardashian that, right? She's older now. She's not really getting, the attention that she would get if she was 25. Let's call it what it is. Those women struggle, in my opinion, to keep themselves relevant and have to do craziness to stay relevant. If you want to learn something about trying to stay relevant, the Kardashians is the ones you need to study. I mean, seriously, because they take that mantra, keep people talking about you, good, bad, or in between. But the moment people stop talking about you, they forget you. That's really what the Kardashians is on. But there's nothing wrong with being in the uncle phase or the auntie phase. Let me tell you something. I love the uncle phase. I love it. Being an uncle, I don't have a filter that I used to have when I was 25 or 24. Being an uncle now, my paper is a lot better now than when it was when I was that age. Being an uncle, I got more wisdom now. I've seen some things. I can see certain things and see it coming a mile away because I got some life experience now. Being an uncle. Being an uncle, I know it's my position to school the young brothers. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's going to listen, the ones that want it. Of course, I'm not going to be trying to school nobody that don't want anything. I'm a firm believer, don't cast my pearls before no swine. I won't do that. And being an uncle for me, it's just better and better and better as the years go along. I'm more traveled now, being an uncle. Own businesses now, being an uncle. Didn't have all that when I was a young man. Didn't know much of nothing. Still trying to figure out my life. I love my position, but it is a difference. Men aren't judged on their looks. Men are judged on their success. Men are judged on the power that they wield and the influence. That's what men are judged on. So, we would just get, like I say, men, of course, if you are moving like a man should, move, you're going to age like fine wine. It's just that simple. A lot of these women didn't realize in that phase when they was 25, when they was 22, they thought they had time. I get a man later. And that's not the way it worked out for them. Or they were probably fooling with Pookie and Ray Ray or whatever. Now they're older. Things aren't the same. Fertility isn't the same anymore. The wall could have happened due to maybe some of their lifestyle choices. Maybe some of them drunk too much and it made them look older. Some of them, could have used drugs. That definitely affects your looks as well as a woman. And they got women out here in their 30s, each of them in 30s, that still look 23, 24, some of them. They're the ones that took care of themselves. And those women usually don't have a problem with younger women. It's usually the ones that, then kind of hit the wall. She knows she's not getting the attention that she used to get. Just play your position. You the auntie now. It's okay. I've accepted being an uncle. I love being an uncle. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you need to go find you an uncle somewhere to be with. Stop trying to compete with them young girls. For what? Them girls need to play their position just like you need to play yours. Instead of like hating on the young girl, give the young girl some game so she won't maybe make some mistakes that you made back in the day. If this young girl want to listen. But some of y'all want to compete with these young girls for sometimes some of the same guys. That doesn't make sense. So don't take it out on the young girl. Don't do that. Just embrace your life, because you chose whatever life you got today. Sis, you chose that life. You can make your life better. You ain't got to be bitter all the time. Figure out what's wrong with it. Do that much. But leave these young girls alone. Let them have their time. I'm not trying to get involved with no young guy and get mad at him for being a young guy. I don't care less what would they do. Let them be young. Let them be silly, because, young and silly just goes with the territory because they don't have the wisdom yet. Man, I am cool in my position. So aunties that's trying to compete with the young girls, just come on. Just be the auntie. Let that young girl, don't make no sense. You 40 plus years old, instead of putting you having pink hair like that young girl, all these funny color annihilator hair. Like, come on now. You're supposed to be refined at that point. You're supposed to know better. But, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this young sister here, because this is an issue. And maybe some of the young sisters, is she right? Because I know she is, because this isn't the first time this conversation came up.